Welcome to Retail Retold, the stories behind how that store landed in your neighborhood. I'm Chris Ressa, in conversation with the people and stories shaping retail and real estate. Brought to you by DLC. And we'll rock and roll.
All right.
Welcome to Retail Retold, everyone. Today I am joined by Angie Snediker. I'm excited for her to be here. She is a tenant at a DLC-owned property. She is the founder and owner of Half Baked Cookies. Welcome to the show, Angie.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Angie, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you do?
So, I own a cookie shop. We have 3 locations. It started from my kitchen at home, like 5 years ago, I think now, maybe 6 years ago. I just was kinda looking for, like, a little bit of a hobby that might be able to bring in some money, but more than anything was just trying to satisfy my own sweet tooth, and that's how Half Baked Cookies was born. I started selling to a local cafe and, my name kinda got out there and people were really loving it. And then, I transitioned into opening a brick and mortar store and that was in Lockport, still is in Lockport. We've been open 3 years there. We knew we wanted to expand. When I say we, I mean, like, me and my team, because you know, I run everything by the team before I do things because I need just a little reassurance. And they've been there with me from the beginning. So we knew we wanted to open another location, and that's when we started looking in Williamsville, which is where we have our spot with DLC. We opened that 1 year ago, just over a year ago. It's been awesome. And then just this year, last month, we opened, or actually this month, we opened a third location in Elmwood Village in Buffalo. So yeah, we are expanding. We are trying to just like stick with our basics that we know, like great cookies and great customer service, and the rest kind of fills itself in.
Amazing. So this started out as satisfying your own sweet tooth in your
Yeah.
own house, um, and you were selling them to bakeries. What made you decide to, like, instead of, like, selling to more bakeries or grocery stores, to open up your own shops?
I think that the most important thing about half baked cookies is that we're providing like the freshest, warmest possible cookies to our customers. And it's tough to do that in a grocery store, and it's tough to do that even with a bakery or a cafe. So I felt like the best way to do that would be to, have the cookies laying out before them. They just came out of the oven. You can see everything. You can choose. You know that everything was made super fresh, just baked. And our location in Lockport's right across from a park, so we also do ice cream at all 3 of our locations. So like going into it, I was like, I don't even know if this is gonna work. I was kind of like hoping to, if the cookie thing didn't work out, like rely on the ice cream thing because across from a park, like you can't really go wrong. We're selling Perry's ice cream, which everybody knows and loves. So that was kind of the fallback plan. It turned out to be, the ice cream's there and it's great, but it's about 10% of our business in Lockport and even less than our other locations because the cookies are such a hit.
Wow. And before this, did you have any entrepreneurial or business experience, or was this your first venture of your own owned business?
This was pretty much my first venture. My dad's an entrepreneur, so I had that kind of instilled in me from a young age. My mom also has done some different things, like had a little antique shop for a while and sells fresh cut flowers. And so we just have like that kind of go get 'em entrepreneurial spirit. Um, but for myself, this was like a big step. It took a lot of courage and a lot of confidence that I might not have had yet at the time, but I'm like gaining as, as the days go by. But yeah, it was a major leap of faith, and I'm so glad I did it.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
And so Lockport was your first location. Why Lockport?
I live in the town next to Lockport, so it was just kind of like convenient for me as a mom at the time of 2 kids. Now I have 3. It was just like it's right there, it's convenient, it's again like across the street from a park, and it was a foreclosed building um that we got. So we got it super cheap, we did the renovations, and then yeah, that it just kind of all fell into place. I'm kind of very into like, whatever will be, and that's kind of what it was.
Got it. Yeah, I know Lockport pretty well. We used to own the Tops shopping center there, and then I don't know if you know where Runnings is,
Yep.
and we built the well now up on the road in front of Runnings there, so I'm pretty
Yep.
familiar with Lockport. So tell me about Half Baked Cookies. What makes Half Baked Cookies different from other cookie shops?
Well, first of all, the cookies are huge. They're 5.5 ounces each, so they're like probably at least 3 of your average cookie. Um, they're super thick. They're super like gooey in the middle, crispy on the outside. We've done like over 200 flavors, probably close to like 250 now. Um, every week we have rotating flavors. So we have our classic lineup, which is like 11 flavors that we always have, that have just been like tried and true. And then we have gluten free and vegan options. And then we have our 5 specialty flavors, which change every week, which some of them like you might see a few times a year, some of them you might see one time a year. So when you see when you want, you got to come and get it because you might not see it again for 6 months or, a year.
Clever. And what's the most popular cookie these days?
Chocolate chip is always the favorite, but outside of that, like, we do a sea salt caramel that we always have, it's one of our classics. It's, chocolate chips, caramel cups, it has a gooey caramel center that we, like, hand pour the caramel into, and then, close it up, and then we sprinkle it with sea salt, so it's yeah, people love that. They go crazy for that. It's an awesome cookie.
Amazing. And when you opened up your first location, the yeah, you usually have to put together a business plan and like revenue forecast. Coming out of the gate, did you beat the plan? Was it not as expected? Did you have to, you know, did it really start off slow and ramp up? Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so I try to be as a prepared person. So I did like sit down and attempt a business plan, and I was just so unsure of what would work and what wouldn't that, I like took a stab at it, and we kind of planned on having food at first. That's why the one in Lockport's called Half Baked Cafe. We planned on like having food options. And then like opening day, the cookies went like crazy. Like, we were like, "Oh my god, we have to go make more right now," like, in the back while the customers are here, like, "Let's get going." So anyways, like, I did drop some numbers, and, I had a little forecast of what I thought might be what we would be doing, and, I was, like, very conservative with that. I'm like, what do we have to do just to stay afloat, you know? And, we well surpassed that, like, we went above and beyond, our sales were much better than that, to the point where, like, we were actually making a profit. Yes, we have, like, we're paying off for the building and the work done on the building and all that, but, like, we're actually, like, we have some cash flow, this is awesome, which is what kind of inspired us to, like, keep going, like, "Okay, this can work." Bakeries have very, very slim margins, so we have to be creative with how we do things and, pricing and, like, we have a quantity discount that we do, so the more cookies you buy, the better price you get. Um, we keep it we keep it fresh with, like, the new ideas every week, but, like, our cookies are very labor intensive. We use the best ingredients. It's real butter, it's real eggs. It's not like, vegetable oils and all that junk.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
So then success happens in Lockport, and then you decide to move on to a place near and dear to my heart in Williamsville. So tell me about how you decided on the market of Williamsville and then how you landed on our property.
So when we started looking, I was actually trying to go a little bit further. I didn't wanna, like, cannibalize any of our business in Lockport. But we kinda started looking further, and then, like, me and my real estate agent, Caitlin Coder, she's amazing. She We started looking, like, more towards Buffalo, and then we just, like, every time we looked, we'd get a little bit closer to home, you know? And then eventually, like, we were looking through Williamsville, we were looking on Main Street, and there just, like, wasn't anything that really made sense, like, parking wise, and it's just, like, too busy up there, and is anybody stopping, so then we looked at the spot that we have now, and we're like, "Okay, awesome, like, Aldi's going in, this is, like, really like, everything's filling in here. There's ample parking, we're, like, in a huge business medical district, we looked at it and it was like, it was not done how we needed it, obviously. So that was like it took some vision to like see what it could be, which now it's beautiful. It's like bright and light and clean and just like super welcoming. Which when we first looked at it, it was like, you know how it is when you
Yeah.
see something that used to be and now is not. And um so anyways, yeah, we were in Williamsville. Before let me, like, pedal back a little bit. When we were in Lockport, like, I remember one particular day, I don't know, it must have been, like, a holiday because we had, like, a line going, and I was kinda just, like, wiping the counter. I think, like, my team was waiting on customers more, and it wasn't, like, a stressful line, it was just, like, a under control line. But I was maybe, like, handing somebody their cookies or something, and someone was like, if you should do this in Williamsville," and I'm like, "Oh," and then, like, the person behind one was like, "Yeah, I second that, like, I go to Williamsville." And that, like, stuck with me. I'm like, "Wow, like, 2 people in a row, like, that's gotta be a pretty good sample, right?" Um, so I had, like, that information, and there'd been other people too that were like, "If you do this again, like, do it in Williamsville. We'd love to have you in Williamsville." So that stuck with me, and then, once we did open up in Williamsville, like, opening day was amazing, absolutely just wonderful. Everybody was great. Just, like, it couldn't have gone better, and then we have the manager in our Williamsville store is Cindy. She's amazing. She's just, like, so good with the team, so calm, so cool, so collected, so organized. I couldn't ask for, like, a better manager to have running that store. She's made it just, like, impeccable. And I think that anybody who's been there would agree, like, it just runs so smoothly. Everything comes out perfectly. Customer service is on point. Yeah, but we're super happy to be in Williamsville. Now that we're in Buffalo as well, it's like we can see the differences in the areas, and it makes me, like, even more grateful for Williamsville and the, like, connection we have with everybody because now we're, like, working on developing that with Buffalo, and I think it's taking a little bit more work just because there's a lot more competition up there. It's just a different area. So, the fact that, like, we were able to come to Williamsville and just be there and, like, have our social media presence and, like, that be enough to, like, bring everybody in is super special and awesome. We're super grateful for that.
Amazing. So when you decided to take the shot on our property, did the you mentioned you had to change it. What was like the cost to do the construction in the space? What and was that what you expected to spend on it?
It was like $150,000. It was a lot. I didn't have any expectation, I don't think. I have a I think I was kinda raised that, like, whatever you put out into the world comes back. Um, and not to be, not to let money kinda scare you, you gotta spend it to make it kinda attitude. Um, so yeah, it was a lot. It was definitely a lot, but I think at the time it like didn't. I don't know why, but, like, looking back, I feel like every year as I get older, I get a little more anxiety, but, like, I feel like when we were doing that last year, I was kind of like, "Well, okay, let's just do it, and, it'll come back," and it did. Like, our sales there are great. We're we're working on paying that off still, but, like, I think we only have, like, another less than a year left paying that off. So, yeah, it was a lot of work though. We had to dig a trench from the back of the store to the front of the store, and it's about 100 feet long to bring up plumbing. We had to bring in more amperage because there wasn't enough amperage in the space. Um, there was a lot of work, but if you've been there, you've seen it. It's pretty. We did good work.
You did, it's a great location. And so you feel like you got the right spot there in
Yeah.
Williamsville. That shopping center has kinda come together. We put in Aldi and, a bunch of other restaurants. Do you get there's a lot of food uses there. Do you get people, like, going to the restaurant and then coming to you for dessert?
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the big selling points of that plaza was like, okay, there's like I don't even know, like at least 10 food spots right there. And like nowhere, not in the plaza, not just in the plaza, but like even in the area, there's like no dessert places. There's not even like an ice cream place too nearby. So I think we're like, this just seems like an obvious choice, like what goes better with food than more food, dessert.
So awesome. Well, that's a good story. I love how, you know, how much courage you have in this concept and opening these locations up. Um, is there a fourth coming?
We would love to get down to the South Towns. A lot of people have asked. That was actually gonna be our 3rd move, and then it wasn't, and that, a spot opened up in Buffalo that was, like, pretty ready to go, and, after forking out that money for the Williamsville build out, it was gonna be nice and, not have to go through, like, a 6-month build out process to just open something up. But, yeah, if you guys got anything for me down in Hamburg or Orchard Park, let me know.
We used to. We sold 2 centers in Hamburg,
That's what
but
I thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the dessert category, moving on from those locations specifically, the dessert category from a retail perspective has been on fire post COVID. There's been Crumble Cookie had stormed the country opening locations.
Yeah.
How are you thinking about competition and the explosion of the dessert category?
Um, I would say, like, how do I say this without being, like, pompous, I guess?
Just
Our
say
cookies are really good.
it.
Our cookies are really good. They like I described, like, we put a lot of, like, love and manual labor into each cookie to get it, like, just so, and, our recipes are, like, on point. Our, ingredients are the best that we can get. Um We don't mess around, like, we're not trying to, like, save money or, cut corners in the cookie making process, like, we are looking to have a superior product, and we do. Um, and anyone who's tried both, I can't say anyone, but I would say 95% of people who have had our competition's cookies and our cookies would agree that, like, ours are definitely better. Um, and there's those people that are, like, loyal to those other places, and people will, like, argue with them, like, "Yeah, but have you had a half-baked cookie?" And they're like, "Well, no, but," and like, "Okay, alright." You know?
So the
So
superior product gives you
yeah.
comfort. And can I order online? Can you order
Yep,
online?
yep,
Do you do delivery?
yep.
Do you do delivery out of region? Like if I ordered them from my office in Westchester, New York. Can I get them for
Yep.
the office here?
Yep, you sure can. Yep, we
They're not gonna
deliver.
taste they're not gonna taste as good as right out of the store hot, but
They're gonna be alright. We with every, shipping order we do, we send a little reheat card, so it, like, is instructions for how to reheat the cookies, and they'll be, yeah, just as good as if bought them off the shelf that day.
got it. And what percentage of your business is in the store versus online?
We don't do a ton of online, we don't really push it too hard. I think mainly um because the success we have in stores, and just, like, my vision is, like, to offer an experience and to, again, like, get people, like, the hottest, freshest, right out the oven cookies, and that just, like, with shipping, like, that's not the experience. So, like, in my mind, if I had somebody on my team that, like, wanted to drive online sales, like, I'd be totally open to it. It's just, like, not my, main focus or goal. I mean, it would definitely, like, help us out, especially, like, I think with our seasonal fluctuations. Um, but, like, my heart and soul is in, like, the brick and mortar, in the, like, face to face, handing somebody fresh cookies. Yeah.
Uh,
But anyways,
you're
sales
speaking
wise,
my
like, I don't even know.
you're speaking my language as a person who works at a landlord for brick and mortar stores. You're speaking my language,
Yeah,
no doubt.
good.
Uh, well, listen, uh, this has been fascinating. I really appreciate the time learning more about your business and the the courage you had to continually expand. I hope you get some more and be on the lookout because I'm definitely ordering some half baked cookies here. And next time I'm in Buffalo, I'm definitely going to get some. Uh, but thank you for coming on today. But before you go, I have three, as I said, fun questions. You questioned me whether they were actually fun or not, but I have three questions for you. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Question one: what extinct retailer do you wish would come back from the dead?
I had to look it up, Blockbuster, because of the again, like, that experience and, like, that feeling you get when you were a kid and you'd walk into Blockbuster, and I mean, even any video rental store, and just, like, like, you're getting a movie, you're gonna be having, like, candy and popcorn tonight, it's just gonna be, like, a cozy night in, like, you just can't beat that, and that's, like, what I'm trying to, not that exact thing, but, like, I'm trying to create that with half-baked cookies and people coming into the shop and, like, "Okay, we're getting a box of cookies." Like, whatever they're gonna be doing tonight, they're gonna have a box of cookies by their side, so it's gonna be special.
Awesome. Question two: what is the last item over $20 you bought in a store?
Oh, I would say I don't know. Oh my gosh. I think I did some school shopping last week for the kids, so it was school clothes. Yeah.
Got it. Last question: if you and I, Angie, were shopping at Target and I lost you, what aisle would I find you in?
You'd probably find me in the I'll give you 2, either like the kids' clothing section or like the, kitchen, little trinkets, utensils, plates, bowls, that kinda thing section.
How old are your children?
1, 3, and 8.
Oh, we're in the same neck of the woods. I'm 6 and
Yeah,
7. So, uh,
yeah.
when do they start school in Buffalo? When do you guys start school?
Next week, the, 2nd, September 2nd.
Same with us. If you talk to
Yeah,
anyone down south, they've been in school for like a month already. It's wild.
yeah, I know.
It's wild.
Yep, yep.
Well, listen, Angie, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. I wish you nothing but success and have a great start to the fall.
Thank you, you too.
Appreciate you watching. Hit subscribe. See you in the next one.